Hello, everybody. Kris here with Inspired Energy. Good morning. With me, Hartwell.
Good morning, Kris. Good morning, everyone.
Yes. So this morning we're talking about the gates of Virgo. We've moved on in the zodiac. And what are the qualities associated with the sign of Virgo?
Well, Virgo is often seen as the sign of the servant, of the person who is interested in self-perfection. Virgos are smart, they're commonsensical, they're down to earth, they're neat, they're tidy, they are, um, in some ways it's a reaction to the sign of Leo, which is all about self-expression and me. And Virgo is all about, okay, I don't really feel like I want to be the center of attention. I just want to serve and I want to perfect myself and do everything I can to be of service in the world in the way that is most appropriate.
Well, it's the first time I've had a connection to Virgo. I didn't understand what my connection to Virgo was. Now I guess I do. So what are the archetypes that are associated with it?
Well, I often think of nursing when I think of Virgo. It's just
Mm-hmm.
such a nurse thing to be a
Mm-hmm.
Virgo. We can also think of the mentor and the wise master, like the Mr. Miyagi type, or
Mm-hmm.
the person who's completely dedicated to a particular path as a disciple, or
Mm-hmm.
the craftsperson who works with their hands and is wanting to create beauty and perfection in what they do on a
Mm-hmm.
physical level. So those are some of the archetypes that we would be looking at.
Right.
Mother
So,
Teresa always so stands out as a very Virgo-ish sort of expression.
oh, right, the mother. Yes.
Well, the
So,
mother servant, the
yeah,
servant energy.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, if you were to guess about human design gates based on what you know about Virgo and the archetype, what might we expect to see then?
Well, I might expect to see somebody who is productive. So maybe some sacral gates. Gate 18, the gate of correction, makes me think of Virgo, being able to
Mm-hmm.
see what is wrong, because Virgo is often associated with criticism or
Mm-hmm.
being very discriminating. Um, I might also expect to see maybe the gate of caring, gate 27, which is also all about preserving the tribe.
Mm-hmm.
These are for this time. I actually guessed. Okay, what would I expect to see before I actually study it? Um, it was hard to pinpoint, but those are a couple of things that popped into my mind.
Mm-hmm. So what are the gates? Now that we've guessed, what are the actual gates associated with Virgo?
Well, the first one is gate 59, which is called the gate of sexuality in the sacral
Mm-hmm.
center, and it's part of the tribal defense circuit. And this is all about, you know, um, breaking down barriers to connection with people so that we can bring children into the world or be productive in terms of our creativity.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Gate 40 is also part of the tribal circuitry, and it's called the Gate of Aloneness in the
Mm-hmm.
ego center. And this is all about the need to separate oneself from the tribe and therefore be independent,
Mm-hmm.
in terms of the way one thinks, in terms of energetically independent. And yet, which sounds like Virgo, because Virgo has this sense of
Mm-hmm.
apartness to it sometimes. But gate 40 is also wanting to be of service. It loves to do work. It loves to
Mm-hmm.
work and it loves to do that for the sake of its tribe.
Right.
So that sense of serving through one's work, but needing time alone and being independent, this is the one that feels most to me like Virgo.
Yeah. Good morning, Jennifer. Good morning, Dragona. Thanks for joining us this morning.
The next gate is in the head, which is in the gate of confusion. So
Mm-hmm.
this is part of the collective sensing circuit. It's about a mental experience or pressure that brings up all the images and memories and data and has it swirling all around in the mind in a confusing way, looking for or moving towards an aha, of some kind.
So that's what it's doing as it's moving through the brain. It's looking for that aha moment.
Well, that's where it ends. That's what
Mhm.
resolves it, right?
Mhm. Okay.
But yeah, it's like, how do I make sense out of life? How do I make sense out of all the chaos, all the
Mhm.
confusion? Where is the thread? Where is the meaning?
Mhm.
And the next gate we see, gate 47, is actually completes the channel.
Mhm.
This is the gate of realization, and it's in the ajna. And it's, of course, part of the collective sensing circuit, too.
Mhm.
So this is the film editor who takes all those clips, puts
Mhm.
them together, and comes up with a meaning. So 64 and 47 are partners in the same channel, and they're part of the energy where people make sense out of life and come up with meaning to share with people about what those experiences, what can be brought out of those experiences.
Right.
The next gate, the
Mhm.
gate of friction, gate 6, is in the solar plexus.
Mhm.
And it's part of the tribal defense circuit, and it is the opposite it is the opposite gate to 59, which is the first gate we saw in Virgo.
Right.
So this is the fear of intimacy. This is because every gate in the solar plexus relates to a form of fear. It's a
Mhm.
friction is a mechanic that either allows us to open up to intimacy, or it says, no, I don't want to be intimate with this person.
Mhm.
So the 6 is about discriminating. It's about choosing. It's
Mhm.
about maintaining one of the boundaries between what is inside and what is outside of our body. So
Mhm.
this also feels to me a bit Virgo-ish, because Virgos can be, in the literature, they can be prickly, they can be picky, they can be fastidious,
Mhm.
kind of like, I don't want to get there's a purity, a relationship to purity with Virgo. So the gate 6 feels a little bit to me like Virgo as well. What I
Mhm.
in my mind is Virgo.
Mhm.
The last gate is only we've only got a degree and a half of this as part of Virgo. So it's one of the bridging gates, gate 46, the gate of determination, which is in the G center. And
Mhm.
this is part of the collective sensing circuit as well. And it's love of the body and being in the right place at the right time. So it's about precision, it's about opportunity to live and be in the flow of synchronicities.
Maybe you
And
could explain the bridging gate as well, because I don't know if we've really covered what a bridging gate is.
did I just use the term bridging?
Yes, you said 46 was bridging.
Um, well, maybe I misspoke, or what was I talking about? Um, um, 40, oh, bridging, which I mean, part of it is in Virgo and part of it is in Libra. That's what I mean.
Yes.
In this instance. So thank
Okay.
you. Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I meant. So more of it is in Libra than is in Virgo.
Okay.
Um, yeah. So those are the gates
Mhm.
of Virgo.
So, is there anything that you found as you were looking into this that surprised you when it comes to the gates and the channels?
Oh, there's quite a bit that surprised me. One thing is that I think in Leo we saw that there, out of the gates of Leo, we had the first channel being defined that we'd seen so far. In
Hmm.
Virgo, we have two complete channels being defined by the gates of Virgo. We have the channel 59.6, which is called the channel of mating. And this is the core of the creative essence of humanity. It connects the sacral energies and the emotional energies to create an energy that we call intimacy, that invites us into, um, in that intimacy. That's what has people want to be parents and have children. That's what has people want to collaborate in creative things. So, um, that's a surprise. That the channel that we call the channel of mating is a Virgo, completely Virgo. And I mean, we don't, in astrological circles, we don't really think of Virgo as a particularly sexy sign. Um, it's more, we more associate it with chastity, if anything. Virgo, the virgin, and here the channel of mating is a Virgo channel. That's interesting. Then we also have another complete channel, two, the 6447, the channel of abstraction, is very mental. It's about sifting and sorting, which does feel Virgo-ish, that sifting and sorting through images and memories to make meaning. It's very reflective. It's not attached to outcome. So these are it does feel a bit Virgo-ish. That sifting, sorting, coming up with meaning kind of thing does feel Virgo-ish to me.
Yeah. So what would your takeaways be from your diving into Virgo and all of the human design and how it fits in?
Well, my takeaway is that, as with all of our exploration, is that there is more depth and complexity to these gates than we expect. Interestingly, from a Gene Keys perspective, 4 of the gates belong to what's called the Ring of Alchemy. The 40 and the 6 and the 47 and the 47, they all belong to this alchemical alchemical process that brings us closer to peace. And it is connected up with the transformation of the human species, as we move towards the next stage of our evolution. So 6 is about breaking barriers in relationships. 40 is about a new openness within community. 47 is about transforming our old ways. And 64 is about opening to new possibilities. So this alchemical feeling pervades what we're discovering about Virgo.
Ah, that's interesting because I don't know if I would have associated alchemy with Virgo necessarily when we first hear the word Virgo, but then I didn't really know much about Virgo. So
and you have a Virgo moon, so
I
it's
know.
You've been schooled, girl. You've got gate 40, which is all about, that love of work that is still, desires to be independent and apart from, and yet offering to.
Right. So there's a lot of stuff that we've covered today, like you said, with the Virgo moon, that it's the first time I've understood where those parts of me came from. Because as an Aries, I didn't see lots of the, the mothering type energy or necessarily the service and all of that. But it's truly stands out a lot more sometimes than the Aries does. So,
well, I know service is a very important word to you. And if service would be associated with any sign, it would be Virgo. That would be far and away the first choice of associating the word service with a sign.
Right. Yeah. Well, you have
the other interesting point, just to kind of leave off here, is we've gone through the first 6 signs, which takes us to Leo. This is the 7th sign. So with the perfection of self and the fullest expression of self in Leo, we start to move into transpersonal territory. Territory that takes us now beyond simply the self. And so the final 6 signs that start with, starting with Virgo and the second half of the zodiac, take us into realms that, go beyond the individual.
Right. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and knowledge today. And we hope that everybody joins us next week at 9 a.m. as we move into the next sign, which is
Libra.
Libra, another sign that I haven't paid much attention to. I know it's all about balance. Anyways, so with that, we're going to sign off today. God bless. Good luck. Have a wonderful, magical day, and we'll see you next Wednesday.